Well, you about ready to get this video going?
Yeah.
Or where are you at over
I'm right here. You see me?
there? Tomatoes are a lot taller than you are.
Yeah, I kind of disappeared. I'm giving them a checking out. Some of them's getting ripe.
I think we're to start with a volunteer plan here.
With the thing that we didn't plant. It just showed up one day. And I think I'll leave it alone. It's got a few little bees are working in it.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
When I came in last night, it was facing up. It actually turned itself up. It was drooped down pretty bad this morning. That's a volunteer sunflower.
Yeah, we didn't plant that one.
I don't know that we've ever planted one in this corner of the garden. We planted stuff in a lot of places, but I don't remember that one.
They're usually in the bottom, like where you would go.
Let's get this thing started. Adjust the camera here.
Zucchini.
We're going to look at stuff on the ground here.
Got some zucchini.
Our zucchini and our squash, they don't look all that big because I trim them. I believe in that trimming. We're not growing bushes, we're growing veggies.
Oh yeah.
So I'm constantly cutting limbs off.
More zucchini, more squash.
And there, you can see the plant's actually pretty long. I've cut a lot of the limbs off of it. It doesn't seem to bother a squash at all, or a zucchini, to trim it back as long as you don't cut too much at one time.
Where was that plant you was talking about last night?
And I'm working my way down looking for it, but there is a squash plant. It's a summer squash, straight neck, that has decided to bud out in 3 different places. I believe this is it here. Now the plant starts back in here. It's actually buried quite a bit. There's one pod. We're starting squash. Of course, it's got squash here. It started another leg this way that's actually growing out, and it's got the main one up here. I've never seen one divide itself off in so many ways. I'm happy for it because as long as the fruit's good, we'll take it.
Oh yeah.
I keep them cut back and I bury them up, trying to keep them healthy as I can. This one refuses to lay down and go across the ground apparently. It's over 1 foot long, standing up now. It refuses to lay down and crawl, but it's still working.
Oh yeah.
Get around the flower pot here.
Yeah, those flowers are dying.
Got kind of hot around here.
Pretty
So.
hot for them.
Of course, we got
Pepper.
2 little bell peppers. We didn't have room for them where we started out planting. This is the overflow.
Yep.
These are Jet Star and Jet Setter tomatoes. These, somewhere around 20 to a roll here. Got some good tomatoes. You'll be picking for too long. They orange. Nothing there on them. I pick them a little early. Some people want some really red. I pick them when they're orange and get them up off the ground and get them in the house before something can eat a hole through them.
There's the okra.
Our okra row here is 3 different kinds of okra. We started out with jambalaya. It's mostly what's up here in the front. Jambalaya starts out really small. Some of them you can see here still pretty small. And it starts putting okra on probably 1 foot tall. They say it puts on lots of okra over time. Jerking the camera, making people drunk. And in the middle I had to replace some of the jambalaya because one reason or another it just didn't make it. We put some Clemson spineless in. Kind of mixed it in. Some of them big, some of them small. But the end down here is the red burgundy okra. It done pretty well. We only had 1 or 2 of them die. So of course we did put this out in what, April?
Yeah. I think so.
Now these planted side by side here, they're more bell peppers. We've done a carnival blend seed, I believe.
Yeah.
Should be several different kinds here, different colors.
We got a big boy on there.
Of course, you can probably see there's a purple ones, or real dark colored ones there. There's several good peppers over there. More of the Indian flowers from Baker Creek. This is our cantaloupe.
Big boy.
We got a cantaloupe getting close there. We got two of them really. We got one here. One back down this way. I think it's it. That little hole.
Yep.
Step across. Down here on this end, these are Jet Star and Jet Setter. I think a couple of Rutgers got in here.
I think so too.
We had a couple. We growed like a 6-pack of them for my daughter's garden, and when she picked out her tomatoes, she picked out the bigger tomatoes. The Rutgers was the runts of the class, I guess. I went ahead and planted a few in here, but most of these are Jet Star and Jet Setter. They make some really nice tomatoes. A nice tomato. Third row, these are Abe Lincoln. This is where the old biggest tomato was at. It actually broke off yesterday and we had to pull it. We got a video on it, but it was a monster. These up here don't seem to be putting on very many tomatoes. They're just not doing it. But starting here, they decided to start again for some odd reason. You can see the tomatoes sticking out here. I got to go back and tie. We're behind on tying, behind on grass pulling. It stormed for 2 or 3 days and everything grow. You got some pepper in your hand, huh?
Uh-huh.
Them are sweet peppers in your right hand. I don't remember what kind. You got some little bells on this side.
They're gonna be good.
Yeah. I don't know why a bell pepper has to grow the first pepper in between the limbs and pushes itself apart, but they always do. There's a few more. I gotta break some limbs. Nice tomatoes there. More nice tomatoes.
Jalapeno.
Now this one is a cayenne I'm looking at. The rest of these are jalapenos. Some of the jalapeno seeds I saved from last year, and some of them is the Giganta jalapenos.
Yeah, they're looking like they don't have a lot because we did a bunch of picking on them the other day to
And we made a video of the
give
ones
the memo.
we picked. I was trying to get turned. I know I'm killing somebody. Trying to see if there's any. There's a few on here. There's a few still in there. And we put a video out of the colander of them we actually picked. I think it'll be easier to go this way. Now this is the roll of potatoes I tried the video last night. Of course it was getting dark and the camera was fogging over because it was cold. So you can see the little potatoes pushing up. Kind of an odd thing, you don't see anybody growing potatoes in July. In the middle of the weed patch, I can call it because I ain't got it weeded yet, is 3 volunteer tomatoes that come up in the garden, just oddball places. I have no clue what they are or what they'll make, but we put them in the ground and see what would happen. Giving them a chance. That was snow peas and they're gone. I haven't pulled the weeds yet, or flowers. And flowers really have done well. See our cucumbers here. We've got our shade over the top of them. Got a phone call. There's a few cucumbers still doing well. Awful hot. I figured they'd been gone by now, but they're still holding on. And let's see. Now I've got a roll of dirt here that I'm holding hopefully to put tomatoes in. But as many of them potatoes is starting to come out in the pots, I might have to take it over with some potatoes in it. I've got 20 more tomato plants to put out, and I've got 85 out, and I think there's around 20 still in the propagation trays. The first 2 rows of beans, they're short little rows, is they're called speckled butter peas. Speckled butter peas. They're actually a lima bean. But I learned that from other channel. They've been growing them. They really like them. Baker Creek Seeds actually promoted them in a video about being a good fall crop. Let's see. Now the first 3 rows. First 3 rows is the speckled butter peas. The last 3 rows, which still trying to come up, they got washed pretty bad, was a Blue Lake bush bean. Now these are Blue Lake bush beans. They was put out previously before the, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. They're almost up to blooming. They've got the buds on them, they just haven't bloomed yet. Still got a little cabbage hanging on. It's been slow this year for some reason. It's still making heads though, so can't complain. Got 1 pepper left in this growed up mess. That is a lemon starburst pepper. I got it from Homestead. He was giving out seeds. I know it's all growed up. We've let it go on this part. We can't keep up. Grass grows faster than anything. Of course, we got our onions up through here. They're in a weed patch, but they're still growing. We pulled a lot of them, but still a few growing. My overrun of cantaloupe. I had too many for the other patch. I actually planted them and they didn't come up, so I planted some more. And apparently some of the seeds finally germinated from the first planting and they started coming up, and then the second ones come out, and well, I wound up with a lot of cantaloupe plants. I wasn't going to throw them away and didn't know anybody wanted them, so I found them a place. Now this little patch of corn here, they 6 little rows. There'll be 100 when I get them all planted. I'm still lacking a few. It's a Buell corn. It's a heirloom from Baker Creek. They look like they're doing good anyway. Of course, that's another row of tomatoes. That's my 4th row. There's some really nice tomatoes in them. They're Abe Lincoln. Or Abe Lincolns. I got about 40 of each, and the other 5 is volunteers that come up. Don't really know what they are. There's a good amount of tomatoes on them, some big tomatoes. Go back around. These are my sweet potatoes. These are the ones I made the video about growing the slips. These are the ones that actually made it. My last couple just never could get started good enough. But we got a pretty good run here. There's several in here. I never did dig up the Malabar spinach. It's actually trying to do something now, but it's been so slow I ain't even thought about it. But you can see the back of see all them big tomatoes hanging there. Let's walk over to the other garden. This is the big garden. Let's go to the little garden and look. I forgot about this little garden box. It's a new garden box. We just planted a few things in it to try it out. Of course, you see I got some carrots there. Made a couple little rolls. The box ain't draining like it should, so everything on this end is flooded. We'll have to dig it up and fix it later, but it's working on the other end anyway. You can see I've got onions all the way around it. There's a couple rolls of beets in there now. My other box of beets gave me 6 or 7 pints of beets, and that's probably enough, but I had open space. Yeah, we'll stop by and look at the strawberries. Them 80 plants we bought is just thriving in this box. They're growing runners and setting new plants. And that's a few red strawberries. See some in the corner there. Their old plants are still making it. They're slowly closing the gap up. So we might have to build a whole nother box before this is over with. Well, here's our little garden. You can see our watermelon. These are, a couple of them is seeds I've been saving over the years, and the majority of these are the Carolina crossed watermelons. They're getting pretty good size. And Cindy gets tickled over that and growing through the wire over there. It just keeps growing. Of course, this is a black and red raspberries here in the corner. We had to move them, start them over. They wound up in places where they wasn't going good. We're trying a new spot here and hopefully build this corner up with raspberries. These are the, for lack of better terms, these are stick beans, as they say around here. They're doing really well, starting to put on lots of blooms. Got more watermelon, more Carolina cross, more of our seeds. These beans are the big kahuna beans. They are actually blooming. They're supposed to make a really long pod and be a heavy producer. We got them in planted 2 different times here. The small ones here are the same thing. I was trying to get around and see a bean here. These rattlesnake ones are striped and they get really long if you let them go. They make a really good bean. We got to pick beans, looks like. We got a lot, but go with what we picked yesterday and the ones we picked the day before, they're starting to build up. Yeah, we got one more box to go to. And we passed up the onions. And this is our last little box. Still got onions in it. They're starting to die off, so we're having to pull them. Not as big as we wanted them to be, but it's got really hot and humid, and I don't think they're going to do much more. Hopefully this fall we can plant this box full of garlic. And the garlic we grew earlier. We'll tear all this off and then we get the onions out and cover it up and let it hopefully kill the grass off and whatever else is in it. And about September we'll plant it full of garlic.
Did you video the watermelon growing through the fence?
Yep. But this is our 2 gardens. This is what we work on all the time. It's a full-time job. Go along with everything else we're doing. But it's been very productive. Miss Cindy's picking beans now. I mentioned the word beans. She's in there picking them. But I hope you enjoyed the tour. Have a good week. God bless.